All right, so it's technically January 3rd now, but I'm going to talk about January 2nd. Basically, yesterday I got too tired to actually record my video diary. It was a long day. I went to work and then I came home and I dealt with financial crap and trying to get a car for college, which I decided not to get a car. I'll just fly there. So I was really tired by the end of it. I didn't feel like recording anything, especially after I spent like an hour and a half editing the January 1st video, which I probably shouldn't have done as much editing as I did because it's not great and whatever. But regardless, I ended up watching Robots, which I think is from 2005. It's like an animated kids movie. It's pretty stupid, but I like it. I've liked it since I was a kid, so I decided to watch it because why not? I gotta fill out these 150 movies somehow. Okay, so the weird thing about Robots that I've never picked up on before is it actually has some deep, like, political messaging. Basically, the story is about this dude named Rodney Copperbottom, who is this robot. He watches this inventing show on TV and he wants to go to the big city and be an inventor. So he like packs up, he goes to the city. His mom's like, "You got to stay here in the small town." And his dad's like, "Follow your dreams." Anyway, that's the setup. When he gets to the city, though, he finds out that the inventing company thing is all a sham. It's actually a big evil company that's doing forced obsolescence. And it's sort of like weirdly fascist because it's like if you can't afford to buy the new upgrades on stuff, you get like essentially taken off and put into like a furnace and melted down for scrap metal. So it's like a corporatocracy to the point where poor people literally die and get turned into new material. So there's like an interesting subject there. And there's a new CEO, by the way, not the one that you see on TV that he's like a fan of. There's a new one who's evil, and the old one is like gone. He ends up going and finding his hero, this old inventor guy, and he's like, don't bother. You know, they already beat me. Who cares? And there's actually kind of an interesting idea there in the idea of like media being manipulated and people being like built up to have dreams that are inachievable, and how evil like corporate world could be and the exploitation of labor and the like of the poor. But what ends up happening is the inventor guy like changes his mind 5 minutes later, and so he ends up being the good guy again, and the like, media icon dude who was like completely given up. He's all of a sudden the hero again. He's the good guy, and the company is actually the good guy. So you get like this really weird mixed messaging where the one company is evil and then the other company is good, but they're both totalitarian control over this city. So I'm not really sure if the message is that corporations are good or bad. Probably because they wanted to have a happy ending at the end, but I think it ultimately like comes to the detriment of the film. If the film had been willing to just like make Big Weld, who's the um, media inventor, like a total sham or whatever, then I think it actually would have worked out better for the movie. And then have Rodney come in and like revamp the city, change the form of government or something. Movie weirdly has a lot of famous people in it. It has Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor, and like Robin Williams, and a bunch of other famous people too. Stanley Tucci is in it. I believe he's Rodney's dad. So it's kind of weird that this movie is just like this obscure thing, kind of like over the hedge, where people know about it, but it's like who actually knows about it, who's like seen it, who can tell you the plot, like I just did. I'm actually surprised, like I've never seen one. It probably does exist, that there's not like a 2 hour long video essay about the moral quandaries and societal questions brought up by the movie Robots. Maybe I will make that video because there are some interesting questions. I do think it falls flat in that respect, as I've just explained. But yeah, anyway, that was Robots. I think I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. So that's 2 days of movies. Obviously, January 1st was much better. I had to start the year out with a bang. But then I just wanted an easy watch, something I didn't have to care too much about yesterday. We'll see what comes next. Anyway, that is January 2nd, filmed at 10 o'clock, 10:06 on January 3rd.